What we were looking for was the junk pile, or the dump. We usually found them right over the hill from the old ruins. They just stepped out the door and heaved the stuff over the hill, I guess. We found all kinds of good stuff, but of course, not much you can do to get it home. We're looking for a sinkhole here, I think. That's those stone fences I was telling you about at first. They were all over the place. People, I guess, didn't have anything to do but build stone fences. And if you use the map, and you could, usually there was a path right along, a little tunnel like right alongside the fence. You could get out and move around then. I call it navigating by the fences. Fences still, of course, there's no freezing and thawing down there, so the fence has been there for years probably. Starting to run back in the middle of the island looking for pits and sinkholes. Way back in the middle. Shot down on the ocean there. Dazzler and Mosback carrying their goodies. Laying in the water. A little rough. Looking at a sea cave. Anyway, trying out that little old boat we built. We're taking it back in the lake. Trying to go back through the lakes to see what they look like. Some sort of little stone ruins you found back there by the lake. See the rock fence coming down to the right there, but that's some sort of a, probably was a boathouse or something. Built little channels and canals and locks and lined the lakes with stone and everything else. Settlers had done a lot of work back in there. But the use of those lakes is to travel back and forth between their lands. They've done some work on them things. Little canals and locks cut between the lakes. So you go from one lake to the other. I was back coming out just after you get dumped. Here we are, we found some caves down there we got into. You had to be careful with them because the tide, when the tide came in, the water came up in the cave, so you had to go in at low tide, get out before high tide came in. But I got quite a few of them interested in caving. They still didn't like it though, because they thought we were looking for treasure. They got a little hostile. Caving group. Guy on the left, the little girl, was the lighthouse keepers there. We were up behind the lighthouse and crawling through a cave. Somebody's squirming through a passageway. They don't know who that is. Down a rope into a pit. There we are. Looking for the hole. And another one of them grouper shots. This is the plane that Eric and Jen Smay came in on while I was down there. I had set up whatever 3 months. First 3 months you were there, you could leave. And if you didn't report into any army base or military base, when we got back, we'd tear up those little leave papers. And every 3 months you could leave. You could leave every 6 months, but we let them go every 3 months. And Jen Smay came down when I was there about, I think, 6 months. I was getting ready to take my 6 months, 2 weeks leave, and she came down about 2 weeks before I left. And her and Eric spent about 2 weeks down there. We stayed in the quarters of one of the English teachers down there. They loaned us their quarters. And then Eric and Jan Smay came down. They came in on that old Flamingo C-47 from Nassau. He's riding that old tricycle there one of the little boys had. This was at the old abandoned Air Force base down there. That's where the quarters were for the English people that did talk for the Bahamians there. He's eating grouper that we went out that afternoon and speared. Jess May brought it home, cleaned it, Jess May cooked it up. That's what Zerk's eating right there. Eric's sitting in front of their collection of seashells there. Glass balls, and helmet shells, stuff like that. Zerk again. Janice May and Eric in downtown in Coburn Town. Janice May bought that hat off an old lady that made them there. That was an old dummy torpedo, practice torpedo we found down there and gave it to that. There was a guy ran some sort of little hotel there. Tried to. It was a booming business, I guess, when the Air Force was down there, but it was pretty sparse now. But he had it as something to see out in front of his hotel there. Great, getting his feet wet. Out at one of the other islands there. That's part of an old shipwreck there. Janice May, the old guy, had let us use his little old squareback station wagon there. There's Dirk again. Eric and Janice down by the old chapel there. He was out touristing around. And, this is about the middle of probably 71. Tony, Janice May left Tony with Miss Doolin. That's looking out at the old chapel. We are down by the bay, south end of the island. A little native culture there. There's Eric and Mom. There's Eric and one of the little native guys. Eric and some of the neighbors there. That's Eric and Janice May out behind the quarters there. There's Janice May frying up that grouper. More grouper. And here we are hiking around some of the old ruins. Doc with us. And one of those sort of like a square trough cut into the rock around some of the old ruins. Janice May's got an old knife there that Eric found down there, and I think we brought that thing back with him and still have it. We probably figured it was an old pirate yard around some old ruins. The trail we were following, we're going back to one of the ruins. It was hot that day, boy. That's one of the trails that runs along one of the old stone fences. There's Janice May and Eric along the trail. One of the ruins. Doc, and there's Eric behind that ball, I guess. And there's Trampus. He was the old Coast Guard. He was a Vietnam vet, an ex-Marine. Janice May and Mr. Wiley and the old man. Out of the bay, going out, tide's out. We're going out to the island there. Here we are, beach combing. This is on the south side of the island, walking around. Eric and Janice. Getting ready to take off on his own. Oh, wait a minute. Did I see a shark there? This is back by one of the old ruins.